We're Helen and Tim, full-time adventure travelers with a goal to see the world one mountain at a time. We recently left the capital city of Taipei, Taiwan, and now we're heading to Sun Moon Lake, a beautiful alpine lake located in the middle of Taiwan. Join us as we experience the history, the rich culture, the food, and even great hiking on the Shuishe Great Mountain Trail. Come along with us as we explore this beautiful alpine lake town. Sun Moon Lake is the largest alpine lake located in the middle of Taiwan. It sits at an elevation of 2,454 feet or 748 meters. It's one of the only natural big lakes in Taiwan. Sun Moon Lake takes about 3 hours and 15 minutes by car, or it's common for people to take the high-speed rail to a shuttle and to a ferry, which can take up to 4 hours to get to this alpine lake. So this is seriously amazing. The rest stops here, they're called service centers, and they have snacks galore. They essentially have like little convenience stores, shops, cafes. You can get like street food style food, and you can also do a sit down meal as well. So it's pretty incredible how fleshed out these service centers are here in Taiwan. You get like a bottled milk tea, getting tea and coffee.
Since I was just trying to pick up a couple things for a quick snack, I decided to go with a bao bun, and I believe it has meat in it. I hope I got that one at least. And then I got a handmade sushi roll with tuna, and of course my Georgia coffee.
So this whole meal costs less than $5 USD. Very affordable meal when you're at a sit-down place. But of course, if you're looking for a snack, you can easily get away with buying something for like $1 to $2.
Earthquake. So 山都裂掉了。
Well, Helen's dad was just telling us that 15 years ago there was a massive earthquake, so half of the mountain off to our left collapsed in a landslide, and you can see the exposed mountain.
We chose to stay in the town of Yuchi Township because it is the most centrally located in Sun Moon Lake. You have access to all the wonderful street food and little shops on Main Street.
We made it. We're just waiting to take our bags into the hotel and then hopefully get the car parked in the garage. So our hotel is located right on the water here at the pier, and right behind us we also have a market.
Welcome to our room at Sun Moon Lake. So we just got in, it's about 1:30. Our hotel was gracious enough at Minghu Hotel to let us in early, so I'm gonna give you a tour. As you walk in, there's a lovely bathroom, and then a nice little storage area. You have your refrigerator. Pretty basic, but does the job. You have a queen bed. Very comfortable. A nice TV, which we hardly will use. Multiple seating areas. The favorite part of the entire room, if I can get it open, is the balcony. Let's check it out. With a view of the lake. Very nice. Sun Moon Lake is known for their black tea. It looks like we got some in our hotel room. Excited to try that. I'll definitely have to let you know how that tastes. We ordered some sausages last night and at the night market, and it really didn't look this fresh, so I'm super excited to try Chinese sausages today. It's a Taiwanese sausage, and there is wrapped in rice, some type of sticky rice. There's some cucumbers, some garlic, and maybe some onions. It looks delicious. It's nice, hot, fresh, off the grill. Really tender, smoky. Kind of has a sweetness to it. It's really good. The rice is nice and soft. The veggies are nice and not pickled, but they're a little bit like crunchy. Highly recommend. At its deepest point, Sun Moon Lake is about 89 feet or 27 meters with a surface area of approximately 3.06 square miles. Sun Moon Lake is a hub for hydroelectric energy. It's installed a capacity of over 2,700 megawatts, which essentially is equivalent to 62% of Taiwan's total hydroelectricity generated for the entire country. Taiwan was once a Japanese colony from 1895 to 1945, and many of the advancements in technology, such as the hydroelectric dams, were built during the time of the Japanese occupation around the 1920s to the 1930s around Sun Moon Lake. Every time we try to film, there's like somebody yelling or a moped that goes by. So we are renting electric bikes today. It is about 350 NT. So for two people, it's 700. I'll put the conversion underneath, but we're gonna go right around the lake. The lady was so gracious to give us 2 days of rentals for one. There's another motorcycle. Anyways, I'm done. We'll go film more on the lake.
先从这边直走，然后第一个路口左转。
So we're going out this way.
断电源。
Use the accelerator to get your speed, huh?
I'm just getting used to this.
I think we have to go to the right.
It is like a moped. That's probably why you're used to it, because it's like a motorcycle. There's definitely a local bus service that also circles the lake, so if you're not up for riding a bike, you can also hop on a bus to see the sights as well. So we just ran across this wild bamboo here in the forest, right next to
Massive.
our biking path.
Yeah, I've never seen bamboo so big.
It goes all the way up there.
Yeah.
All the way down there. Impressive.
The water levels at Sun Moon Lake are normally measured depth-wise by the presence of these big frogs, these like frog statues that are buried into the ground. And so they count how many frogs are exposed to show the water level. However, the water level is so low currently that all of the frogs all the way down to the ground is exposed, meaning they've had a drought here for a long time.
The Sun Moon Lake Bicycle Trail covers 18.6 miles or 30 kilometers and has been named one of the world's most beautiful cycling trails, and we can definitely see why. And it's varying in terrain. It has some steep hills, so we recommend an e-bike if you're looking for something leisurely, but if you're looking for more of a challenge, definitely rent a bike, which can take around 3 to 5 hours to ride the entire way, but of course you definitely should make some stops along the way. There's great food and beautiful temples along the ride. Though there are plenty of street food options, we opted for a sit-down meal on our first night because we wanted to try the local dishes, the farm-to-table Aboriginal dishes, as well as the Sun Moon Lake fish that we've heard about, and we believe it is a type of trout. We definitely recommend making reservations if you're looking for a sit-down place. We'll definitely link in the description the restaurant that we went to.
So we checked the air quality this morning for the area that we're staying in around Sun Moon Lake, and it's actually around 100. I'm not sure what the scale is with that, but it's not good. It's in the red zone, so hopefully we won't have any issues.
That's why you're seeing all the smoke, right?
Yeah, that's why it's really hazy today.
So we are heading to Shuishe Mountain, which is a hike in Sun Moon Lake area. Oh, there's a kitty cat. Oh, it's okay. I won't scare you. We're heading to the Shuishe Mountain Trail, which is a hike within walking distance from where we're staying here at Sun Moon Lake.
In Thao, which is on the southeast corner or southeast side of Sun Moon Lake.
Yep, and I think it's gonna take us about what, 10-15 minutes?
To get to the trailhead?
To get to the trailhead.
Yeah, it's really close.
And it's only about 3 miles long, not a very long hike.
So if we did the full Shuishe Trail, mountain trail, it would be about 6.5 miles and 4,500 feet of elevation, but we don't have a lot of time because we want to get back and do things with Helen's parents. So we're actually going to cut it short, and I've also heard that at the very top there's not a really good view, so we're just going to stop at one of the viewpoints on the way. We don't want to go the whole way up because we want to have time to go check out the tram and the Aboriginal Cultural Center.
Oh, Do stretching. What you doing stretches? Where'd you come from?
There's the 5K that you were talking about.
Okay. So we're starting here.
We're starting here. And we might hit one of these ones, hopefully.
Shuishe Mountain sits at around 6,755 feet tall, or 2,059 meters. It is the highest peak around Sun Moon Lake, and it gives you great vantage points of the lake from the top. We're only like 5 minutes in, maybe like 10. And my heart rate's like 154. Oh goodness. Good morning. Layers are coming off.
Helen stopping for the second time so far to take off another layer.
I always tend to overdress.
And I always recommend what?
To dress lighter.
You start out colder because knowing if you're, especially if you're going uphill, that you're gonna heat up quickly. But some people just don't take my advice. What can I say?
Well, now we're mashing, so Tim's favorite.
All right, well, I guess.
Got the same shirt on.
Yep, another shirt's coming off.
To see the scale of this, but wow, look at this bamboo. It is super thick, probably about like 7 inches wide or so. It's crazy.
Yeah. Let's go right. Well, these stairs are supposed to turn into a regular trail at some point, so we're definitely excited for when that occurs. Yeah. Definitely sooner than later.
Don't count on it. It's been a while since we've done any kind of elevation. This is where the training begins. Got to work our way to hike in the Nepalese mountains in October.
Jungle, baby.
Welcome to the jungle.
You gotta cry.
We aren't able to hike with our trekking poles because we are carry-on only, and internationally you cannot bring them on your carry-on bag. So we have to improvise unless we rent when we're hiking in different countries, but bamboo will work this time. We came across this
Probably was.
interesting gate.
I think it used to be a viewing platform.
Looks like it used to be a viewing platform of some kind. Trail marker. Oh, it has a little red dot.
Distance on the side here.
Doing an audience poll. I tend to sweat a lot when I hike, and Tim thinks I say that I'm sweating buckets all the time. I want to know if you say that as well, or am I the only person on the planet who says that I'm sweating buckets? So my mom was telling me that people flock to Sun Moon Lake because of the weather. It tends to be about springtime here, almost year-round, because it is in an alpine lake nestled in the mountains. It's very hot and humid in Taiwan, especially in the summertime. And this is a great escape for the locals to bring their families to get away from the summer heat. You don't need a permit to hike the mountain. It can take around 6 to 7 hours to complete the entire hike all the way to the summit. Though we didn't make it to the summit, it was still definitely worth the hike up from the town of Yuchi Township, especially if you're staying around the area and you want to get in some great views and a good workout. The trail starts getting very rooty. Definitely have to watch your step.
Well, it appears that there's piles of bamboo kind of off to our sides, so they must have come in and manually thinned the bamboo out. I can imagine it gets really dense because it grows so quickly. So
a lot of work.
Yeah, they must have manually did this.
About an hour in. So, what do you think so far, Tim?
Right now we're at the top of one of the mountains on the approach. Not so bad.
Like it when it's smooth.
Yeah. When it's flat.
Until it's not.
Until it's not.
So about, let's see, 2.75 kilometers in.
We're at the 2.75K viewing platform. You can see part of the lake.
It's a little foggy right now. That stinks. So as mentioned earlier, Tim said the air quality is not great. We have an app that tells us what the air quality is like, and it's definitely kind of in the hazardous zone right now. Definitely harder for people with asthma and other health outcomes like that to essentially breathe. So maybe that's why it's a little bit tougher today, but as you can see, It is definitely covering the view, which kind of sucks. It's probably a combination of the fog as well as the smoke. We did see a wildfire when we were driving in. It looked like it just started in the forest. It's been pretty dry here in Taiwan overall, at least the southern to mid part of the island. They haven't got rain in many months, so let's just hope that they get some rain. Insult to injury.
You always hate to go down if you know you're gonna have to go back up, and unfortunately we have to go down.
Once a natural lake, but in 1931 during the Taiwan Japanese occupation, they did unfortunately build a dam, so it has become a place where they get drinking water from. So at this lake itself, you unfortunately cannot swim in it because not only is it only open to ferries, but they're trying to keep the natural elements and the water clean. We're about halfway, the 3K mark.
Well, right around the 3K area, this is a dispersed camping area around here because we're seeing some areas that were cleared out, but unfortunately there's also a lot of trash that was left behind. Now, Helen and I follow the leave no trace principles. We always pick up trash. We take everything, try to leave it cleaner than we left it. Try to leave it cleaner than we arrived to it. And unfortunately, people aren't following the same around here.
Always waiting for me.
3.5K, woo! Only 1.5K more. So it does appear that there are monkeys on this mountain, and you should be aware of that and just take that as a precaution in case you see any. Here's the little warning.
Lalu Island in the middle of the lake separates Sun Moon Lake into a part shaped like a crescent moon and another part shaped like a round sun, hence the namesake Sun Moon Lake. Pretty washed out.
Yeah. Lots of rain, I'm sure. Little gnarly section coming up. Check it out.
So tired.
There's like a hut at 4K. Unfortunately, the view is a little covered up. The foliage has grown up around it. 3.8K.
The 4-kilometer junction, getting close. See the little red dot on the map? That's where we are.
So we have about 600 feet of elevation left and about 1 kilometer.
Yeah, dance party. Just got up to some ropes. It doesn't look too bad. Might be a little slick from the weathering of the rock. I like using the rope, it's helpful. Just thinking about that street food we get to go back to later. So far, we're really enjoying Taiwan. There's a lot to see here. As you can see, there's nature everywhere. 60% of the island is covered in forests as well as mountains. There's a lot of 10,000 foot peaks, so you can imagine there's just so much opportunity to get outside. So this area of Sun Moon Lake has a lot of tribal communities, and there are legends surrounding this lake, so we have to acknowledge that they were the original settlers of this magical and beautiful lands that we are here today. Oh God. I'm so tired right now.
We made it to the platform. Yay! Unfortunately, not such great views, but we made it to the final viewpoint at 4.7 kilometers, so I guess it's just shy of 5 kilometers. On a clear day, it certainly would be. Nice job, honey. High five.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Hey, you can see where we came from.
Can you?
Isn't that where we came from?
Yeah. All the way. Right there.
Wow, that seems like a lifetime away.
Yeah, I don't want to walk back.
Can we just zip line back down?
So normally, if we were going to actually summit Mount Shuishe, you would continue up this path.
The overall hike I'd rate it about a 7.5 out of 10 just because of the Stockton views. That's something that we can control, but overall I think it was a fantastic hike, especially if you're looking for some elevation and some vertical gain.
Great training hike for sure.
You'll definitely get some here if you're looking to do that in Taiwan. About a third of the way left. Our legs are shot. Oh my goodness, definitely gonna be taking some ibuprofen here later. You know when you're getting close to the end of this trail if you hit the stone steps. My leg is like shaking because my muscles are so tired. Oh my god, it has a motor of its own. That's so weird.
Finally, so if you want a quad burner, this is definitely the hike for you. Overall, it was about 9.3 kilometers up to that 4.7 kilometer viewpoint that we stopped at. And we did 1,000 meters of ascent total, which is 3,300 feet.
How long did it take us?
It took us 4 hours and 45 minutes.
So if we would have gone all the way up, probably 5.5 hours?
At least, yeah. If you go up to the actual summit, the Shuishe Mountain summit, then it was probably 5.5 to 6 hours. And we hiked pretty fast, so, you know, plan accordingly depending on, you know, how quickly you move. Yeah, they actually recommended 7 to 8 hours. So all in all, we did really good.
These houses have some like paintings on the side and pictures, and here you can see the Aboriginal people. Now we're walking back to the hotel to meet my parents for lunch. We're having a dim sum style lunch with braised beef noodle soup. Not that I want to have hot soup at the moment, honestly, but
My favorite thing about Taiwan is the food.
yes, absolutely come for the food.
Yeah, bar none.
So you can see how close this hike is to town. It's a neighborhood.
The trailhead was less than 10-minute walk from Thao.
It's kind of interesting to see the developed buildings with the contrast.
Brand new hotel.
A brand new hotel with the contrast of the old architecture. That's what Tim wants. No, that's what we're going for lunch with my parents. You like it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Satisfying.
Very good. So we had our electric bike rentals for our second day. So we brought them over here to the gondola. We parked them, and hopefully we'll just go jump on and head up the mountain.
Get the cherry blossoms. So Sun Moon Lake is popular for its cherry blossom festival at the beginning of February through the beginning of March. This year it's February 5th through March 6th. So we're lucky that it is March 3rd, a couple more days until the cherry blossom festival is over. But as you can see behind me, look how beautiful these blooms are. We're going to be checking out the cultural center, and there's going to be a bunch more up there. So we're really excited to see them, but hopefully one day we can see them in Japan as well.
So we got our 2 tickets to the Aboriginal Cultural Center, and they do include the gondola on the ride up.
The Aboriginal Culture Center is around 150 acres, and it's a very unique place. Not only does it include the Aboriginal Culture Center, but it also includes an amusement park as well as an European garden.
So this is an example of a traditional Peiwan family house, and Peiwan was one of the original Aboriginal tribes in Taiwan. So we just found this feature here behind us that has the skulls of basically a tribe's enemies, and they were displayed at the entrance to the village, and it was to ward off evil spirits, ward off any potential enemies or intruders that were coming into the village, and to respect the fallen lives of the warriors. Peiwan Chief's house.
Wow.
Where they dried grains.
So the carvings that go into these homes essentially are a social status for these tribal communities, and it's really cool to see all the different designs that would go into a house like this. There are 16 officially recognized indigenous tribes in Taiwan, and we wanted to visit the Formosan Aboriginal Culture Village to learn more about each of these communities, the rich history, as well as the original stewards of the land. It was great to see their way of life in terms of their architecture, food, music, and more. It's kind of cool they gave away free sweet potatoes. So there are about 5,000 cherry blossom trees planted all throughout the Aboriginal Culture Center. There are about 5 varieties in the entire park, at least in this area, so it's pretty beautiful. We are near the end of cherry blossom season, so as you can see, a lot of the flowers have already fallen off the trees, but it's just cool to see. I think this is the first time that Tim and I have ever seen a grove of cherry blossoms. You put it here and here.
Yeah.
This is my first time doing any type of archery. Definitely my hands never work well, so we'll see how this works, but I'm excited to try it out.
The arrow on. You just have to learn how to keep the arrow on.
Can I just leave my index finger?
No, because then the feathers will cut your finger. Nice job.
Nice.
And now we're in a theme park.
Did you say the contrast is just strange?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird contrast between like the traditional, historic Aboriginal cultural center, and now we're in like a theme park.
It's included in your ticket.
However, the rides cost money.
We've been officially transported to Europe. This is the strangest park ever. It's like being in the Twilight Zone, right? We just went from an Aboriginal village to
a European garden. It's a beautiful garden, but you're surrounded by jungle and a UFO
tower.
like theme ride.
So this is a sky train that takes you back to the Sun Moon Lake gondola. Essentially, you can walk the entire park, and instead of walking all the way up, there's actually a bus as well, but you can take the sky train as an easy way to get back to the upper section. So we are leaving Sun Moon Lake today.
Yeah.
Sad day. It's absolutely beautiful. It's been in the 50s to, I would say, even low 70s, not even 70s, probably 60s.
Yeah,
most of the time.
it's been pretty humid, but today feels a lot better.
Yeah, I wish we were staying another day today, but we hope you enjoy our Sun Moon Lake video, and we'll catch you on the next trail. This past month, we've enjoyed having Kaohsiung City as our home base in the southern part of Taiwan where my parents live. On our next adventure, we'll be taking you to Taroko National Park to hike Chilai Mountain. We'd love if you hit that like button and comment in this video to support this channel, and we'll see you on the next trail. So we generally hike with trekking poles, and so we're carry-on only, so you aren't able to bring our hiking honey.
Sorry, ants.
Ew. Gross. They bite you?
Oh.
Ew.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not
You gotta watch.
Gotta watch, because ant
Ant nest in that thing.
Ew.
No, that was good.
You're still recording.